Welcome to this unboxing video for Valley of the Dead King. This is the first out of the 4 in a series of games, and hopefully I've seen in the 4th one a promo for the 5th one in the series. These are standalone games. This is a game that actually is a hero building adventure board game for 1 to 6 players. This is a thematic game, falls under the categories of adventure games with exploration, with fantasy elements, fighting, puzzle elements and traveling. The main mechanisms of the game are cooperative game. They have dice rolling, grid movement, there is a modular board, there is push your luck elements and role playing as well. HEXplore It is a hero building adventure board game where players enter a realm teeming with fantasy creatures, heroes and villains. You select your hero by combining 2 character options, your role and your race, and the role is your profession and your race is your heritage and species. This combination drives your hero's strengths, weaknesses and defines their special abilities. You'll use dry erase markers to keep track on your hero's strength, and you can travel across the map earning power, different abilities and completing quests and battling opponents of different types and different origins. More carefully, you'll have to avoid multiple dangers and travel from city to city, visiting shrines and ruins along the way. The object of HEXplore It is to power up your heroes as quickly as possible to eventually defeat the Dead King himself. The game is won if you confront and defeat him, bringing light back into the valley. So the game is designed by Kat Kimundri, Nathan Luce and Jonathan Mariusi. The publisher is, of course, Mariusi Designs LLC. This is HEXplore It is a brand that we'll see with many titles to come, and this is again the first out of the 4 published, and there is a 5th one in the works. So let's dive into the box and see what we find. First of all, the box is really heavy, and this is the smallest of the 4 in the series, but it's really good one to start. So this is volume 1, 2nd edition. As you can see, this is the back of the game. This is how it looks like. It's a rich world for players to explore. There's an adventure awaiting, there's a lot of cool things. Your goal is to try to save the valley from the Dead King himself, and there is a lot of replayability and value in this box. All of these games are standalone, but they can also be combined with for the races and roles, etc. Other elements as well. So let's see what we find inside the game. There is a greetings card. Then we have an ad for the 2nd volume, which is the Forest of Adrimon, which we're going to also unbox and show you on the subsequent video. Let's see what we find in here. We have the storybook, some baggies, a removable tray, the rulebook, some tack boxes with the different cards of the game. They also have nice art on them. And then we have the dice. There is room, as you can see, for the hexes, so they can be placed once unpunched, which are under this compartment. So let's put everything aside. And let's get all these things out. So I can start by showing you the punch boards. This is really good quality manufacturing. I really like the quality of what I see so far. There are a lot of tokens and hexes, and the game is set up by placing some hexes and also expanding it with some additional hexes like this one. And then you have a border, some borders. So this, for example, is the level of detail you see. It's really nicely illustrated if you see up close on the different locations of the cities and the roads and the landmarks. So this is really nice. So this is one side of the board with slots for the cards on the bottom, as you can see, and the circumstances over there. It's really nice. And then we have smaller tokens to differentiate even more some of the landmarks and the terrain. This is the bottom part, or the top part, let's say, of the board of the map. Again, it comes together, interlocks, and creates another side with also cards, slots for the cards, quests from the other side, and there's the offering. These are 5 cards open all the time, and here's also the logo of the game, The Valley of the Dead King. This is really nice because then you start constructing in between those two the map. This is another tile. Let's first of all gather all these circular tiles so that I can show them to you up close. And these are numbered as well, lettered I should say. I like a lot the feel of the cardboard. The cardstock is really nice. It's matte, so it's not giving a shiny glare or something. I like when games have matte finish. And this can all be stored in the tray of the game nicely. It was the same for the previous edition. Second edition has the same. So let me show you now some additional tokens. And then the last punch board, which is this one. Look at the level of detail. I really like the art on the game. I like the fact that you can easily navigate on the map, and it also the fact that it's modular. So just to give you a quick idea on how, just putting some things together to see how the game would look like. So you'll have the different sections. Okay, so now I'm just putting things together, so not necessarily how it should be for setup. We're going to release a separate video to show you how the game plays and more details about the game. So in between the bottom part and the top part, you're going to start constructing and building with hexes. So you're going to have a lot of different, first of all, this is going to be also like that, and you can start expanding from the sides, because this is actually how the game starts, and then you can start expanding by adding more tiles on the left and right. So again, just to show you how it would look like in theory once you start adding with exploration more tiles to the sides. Okay, so, by the way, this is here. And it looks really nice, and also gives a nice opportunity for very meaningful and interesting exploration, as well as players trying to expand, get to different locations, power up, become very strong, and then come back to face the Dead King himself. Now, we have lots of different boards that, let me show you how they're divided. You have the rows and the races. So you can be a sorcerer, for example, you can be a scoundrel, you can be a beast master, a brute, a nomad, a priest, the elementalist, a shaman, a hunter, a tinkersmith, a guardian, a wielder, a trap specialist, a weaponsmith, and you see even more, an illusionist, Berserker, Necromancer, the Divine One, the Rabble Rouser, the Summoner, the Cartographer, the Apothecary, the Oracle, and the Minstrel. You see, all these are different options for the players, so there is a lot of gameplay and a lot of things to discover, and you start with specific abilities and then you start using these dry erase markers to quickly update your stats by drawing, keeping notes, putting your name. And this is done in a really nice way so that you can quickly correct, update, erase and continue. You see, this material is really nice. It's very usable because you have those dry erase markers and you can update your stats very easily. So this is great, really. I'm loving the fact that you can skip pencil and pen, and you can all do that with the dry erase system that they have in there. Then you have those cards here, which are the races. So these are the roles and these are the races. So you can be human, sorcerer, a dwarf, brute, or an elf, or a troll, or a halfling, or an orc, or a half-elf, a dryad, a pixie, a centaur, stonemar, an ogre, a gnome, ulimon, goblin, shade, grey dwarf, lizardman, automaton, dragon king, half giant, shifter, demonborn, and angelborn. You see, all these races give additional modification to your combination, because you're going to be one race and one role in each game. So lots and lots of options and possibilities with so many things included there. And then you have the different locations of the game. So this is essentially a play rate. You have the game turns, you have the movement, the skill, and then you move to the circumstance, the event, and the villain, which is the Dead King in this case. And here are the different locations. You can see you have the black market that you'll find on the map and interact with these options. You have the market, normal market. You have ruins. You can see how you differentiate them. Already, for example, here you can see this icon is the market. These are ruins and shrines, where you can do different things and take options from those. Blessings, okay? Or these are the ruins where you can do different things. And of course you have the villains that you'll have to face. This is a battle mat, because you use it to tracking battle. Again, it's a dry erase battle. You have the conditions on the back. You can use them during the course of the games as a reminder, and then draw on it for the battle. And then you have the different villains. You have the Bandit Prince. Then you have the Grey Slime. Then you have the Overlord Chikak Ishak. Then you have the Goblin Emperor, Click. I would then go to the Megapede, and then the Shiv, the Shiren Queen. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 3, 5. Then we go to 7, which is the Giant Basilisk. Really nice art, by the way. The Cryovern. And then you have the Frost Giant Jarl and the Dead King himself. So really cool. You have to get to battle all these villains, and you can use the system that it's really easy to follow. Has a lot of handy things and useful things like those tables that you can use for reminders, etc. But let's see, last but not least, the rulebook. These are the rules, but don't be frightened by the high number of pages. The rules are very easy, everything is there, and you have different game options as well, but it's all written with examples and a big art and things, so it's not really a big rule book, and it's very easy to understand. So first of all, some basic ideas, how you do the setup, how you choose your hero, how you select your role and your race, and then details explained. Then you'll find the setup of the game board. This is how the game would look like once set up. And then you're going to have the unexplored tiles E to N, where you're going to add in the sideways for exploration. Here, location of the cards already that I'm going to show you in a bit. Explanation of the game board and the different elements. You have great trees, caves, dwarven forests, and mountain peaks that do different things. And then you have the game turn sequence, role starting city, location tokens explained, and the game turn overview. You go through the steps that I explained before, and then each step is described with a bit more detail so that you know everything you need to know, with examples, how you update with your markers, your boards and your stats through a course of a full round, and how you do combat. Combat is covered separately with steps. You can also find a play raid with information, and you use a battle mat for this, and then you see the different villains, the bosses, and then you go to the resolution phase, and when you have the different rewards, locations, conditions, keywords, and quests. Okay, this is the rule book. Then you have the storybook as well. It's slightly bigger, again, very nice quality. And here you'll find how you can use it. You find the game locations explained. You have city triggers. You have shrine triggers. You have ruin triggers. Black market triggers. Then you have the items explained. You have different scenarios if you encounter cities, discoveries, events, treasures, and then a lot of different art with the different monsters. You can also have short stories that you can play, so there's a lot of value in this game, as you can see. Okay, so I'm not going to do any spoilers, just to show you. Then it's the Dead King himself and facing the Dead King. Okay, no more picking here. Last but not least, we have the decks in their own tack boxes. So let's open them. There are nice poker-sized cards with matte finish. They are good quality cards, but most probably they need to be sleeved. The iconography is very easy to follow in the game. Everything is really clear and easy to read. You can see different types of card, different options for this deck. Okay. The second deck. I'm really looking forward to play the game, to record material with the game, and show more things about it soon, both for the first volume but also for the ones to follow. I'm happy to have all 4 volumes, extremely happy and thankful. And then we have different events here. And that can happen in the game. Afflictions. And some dangers like giant boars or grizzly or thugs, bandits, brigands, raiders, etc, etc, etc. Lots and lots of things covered in this deck. Cyclops, phase beasts, wow. Ghouls, plague beasts, bone legion, and some treasures. And then, the last but not least, we have this deck. I like the fact that it comes with its own tack box. Okay, and this is the last deck, where you can have different things like invasion, for example. You can explore locations, like the fact how they're color-coded by board. Navigate, different options, survival, aid, bounty, and some dual ones. So very interesting deck, looking forward to get into this one. So there you have it, these are the components for HEXplore It, the Valley of the Dead King. Very much looking forward to play and record more material about the game, so stay tuned with the next video, which is going to be a how to play and a quick mini review with my first impressions after my first sessions with HEXplore It, the Valley of the Dead King.